Hey everyone, Kira Davis here with Just Listen to Yourself with Kira Davis, and of course, editor at large for Red State. And I'm mad. I know it doesn't look like it because I have these dimples, but I'm angry. I'm angry on behalf of our students, I'm angry on behalf of parents, and I'm angry on behalf of the good tax paying citizens of this country who are looking at teachers protesting about going back to school to do their jobs and saying, what are we paying you for? I've really had enough. I feel like we've been pretty understanding with teachers. We've given you guys a lot of grace. Last year, when we had to quit out of the middle of nowhere and move to an online learning system, you guys handled it like champs. And we all understood the amount of pressure that you were under. Most of us did. And we all rallied together to make it work with the assurance that we would be back in school in the fall once things move forward, once we figured out how to move forward safely with learning. A lot of states figured it out, right? I don't know if y'all saw that very angry parent at the Loudoun County School Board meeting who was screaming at the school board, talking to them about raising the bar. The bar's not that high. Raise it. That's the thing. The bar's not that high. It's not that high to go back to school. There are schools that are doing it and doing it safely. Private schools in California have been open since the beginning, and there have been no COVID outbreaks. There's been nothing that the government has traced back to private schools and the students going there. The teachers seem fine. The students seem fine. They've figured out a way to work it out, and they are currently going to school, even as our public school teachers here in the same state say it's too dangerous to go back to school. Yet the proof is right next to them at private school. The proof that they can go back to school is right next to them. And what y'all doing? Y'all making dance videos and TikToks. We're not here for that anymore. Parents are so sick of this. We are not amused with your little videos and your protests. We are sitting at home watching our children fall into listlessness and depression and confusion. They have had everything ripped away from them this last year. And the last piece of normalcy in their lives has been school. And you teachers and you teacher unions have spent the last 50 years telling us why you're the most important people in the country and why your jobs are the most important jobs in the country and why education is the most important thing in the country. And now here we are in 2021 and you don't want to do your jobs, you don't want to open your workplaces, and you don't want to teach kids. You don't want to give them an education. All the things that you've been telling us for years and years that are the most important things. And now you want to tell us, oh, but we don't want to do those most important things because we don't think it's the right time. We don't think it's safe. Well, guess what? The science and the data is not behind you. This is a settled issue. If you want to use a term that a lot of people love to use these days, it's settled science. The science is settled. However, I can totally understand. You don't want to go back to work because you're sitting in a classroom with 20 kids. And for the last 9 months, people have been telling you that if you walk into a room with 2 or more people, you're for sure getting COVID and dying. So I can understand that you might not want to go back into a situation where you have to be in a room with a bunch of other people all day long. I can understand some of you might be caretakers for older relatives and you don't want to risk at all bringing something home. I can understand that you yourself may be vulnerable health-wise and you don't want to risk your health. I understand all of that. What I don't understand is why you think you're entitled to keep your job if you're not doing your job. Great. If you feel unsafe and you don't want to go to work, great. Quit. Find another job. Walk a dog. Learn to code. Do something. But there's nothing in our Constitution that says you are entitled to your job. And to hear you talk about parents who want you in the classroom, who want their own children back in the classroom, because we're the ones sitting at home looking at our kids suffering, not you. We are. Don't tell us all this BS about this is for the kids and you only care about the kids and you want to keep the kids safe. You don't love my kid more than I love my kid. I'm not going to send my kid back into a situation that I think is fatal for them. So get on out of here with that stupid excuse. You need to be at work. And if you cannot perform the duties of your job, you are obligated to quit and move over for someone who will do it. There is nothing special about your job. For the last 9 months, parents have been sitting at home doing your job mostly for you. And that's not to negate the efforts that you've put in. That's not to negate the strange time it must be to be a teacher. We want to be with you to help you, to be understanding. We want to be a support for you. We understand that to move from teaching in the classroom to online to this weird hybrid thing that some people are doing and then back to the classroom, we understand that that's a challenge. See, parents have offered you guys all kinds of understanding, and all you offer us is insults and maliciousness. You call us murderers, and we're not murderers, and we're not morons. We're parents, and we're watching in real time the results of your selfishness. So if you don't want to go back to school, fine. Fully support that decision. Quit and move the hell over so somebody else who can do your job can get in there and do it. The bar is not that high. And your job is not that special. You are no sacred cow. Anybody can teach. I mean, really anybody can teach, especially these days. And I understand that there are some very talented teachers out there who are very special. I've had some of them in my life and certainly do appreciate them. But guess what? There's a lot of teachers out there who aren't special and just have a degree. But anybody can teach. I taught my kids how to tie their shoes, how to wipe their own butts. I taught my kids how to read. I taught my kids how to add. And when you guys try to teach them stupid Common Core math, I had to back up and teach them how to multiply and divide properly, how to stack numbers. I've taught my kids how to be kind, how to stand up to bullies. I've taught my kids how to be creative, how to be imaginative, how to treat others the way that they want to be treated. I did that all by myself, and I'm no one special. This whole country is filled with parents just like me. Better yet, this whole country is filled with people, young aspiring teachers who are waiting on pins and needles to get into the classroom and to apply what they've learned about educating youth. And they would love to be in your position. So if you feel like you cannot perform your duties properly in your position, move over and let one of those kids step into your job. Because, yeah, that's right. There's a million people waiting to replace you. Your job is not so special that you deserve to keep it above everything else. If you cannot perform your job, you must quit your job. I don't know why you think you're entitled to your job. And you're certainly not entitled to dictate to your employers when and where you're going to do your job. And guess who your employers are? We are. We care about our kids more than you care about our kids. We care about our kids' safety more than you care about our kids' safety. And if we thought for 1 minute that them going into the classroom was going to kill them or you, we would not be advocating for it. But you see, parents have had enough. We're getting jerked around. I don't know what kind of game you unions are playing, and frankly, I don't care. Get back in the classroom or quit. If some of our governors had any sense, they would call the unions bluff on this, and they would let them strike, and then they would bring in some people to cross that picket line and actually get the job done. And if you're sitting there right now going, oh my gosh, you can't cross the picket line, can't be a scab, you're part of the problem. Again, that's choosing adults over kids. That's choosing teachers over students. We parents have had enough. We cannot take it anymore. What we are witnessing at home is devastating. We want our children back in the classroom. We're paying for our children to be in the classroom. While we struggle trying to figure out childcare, trying to figure out how we help our kids through school while we also work, you guys get to collect a paycheck and not do the job that you committed to do. Us asking you to do the job that you're getting paid to do is not being cruel. It's being sensible. So if you cannot perform your duties, please step aside and let someone take your job who will do it. Again, if you don't feel safe, great, fantastic, no judgment. You can walk away from the job and I will not judge you, but walk away from the job. It's not yours. You're not entitled to it. We pay your salary and you are not performing your duties. We've had enough. It's safe for our kids to go back in the classroom. In fact, at this point in the game, it is way more dangerous for our kids to continue to stay home and fall into apathy and listlessness right before our very eyes than to get back into that classroom. It's time to poop or get off the pot. You know what I'm saying? Quit. If you don't want to go to school, quit. Go to work or quit.